Ravenwood Lane was an ordinary street in the suburbs of Ohio, lined with quiet homes, children's bicycles in driveways, and trimmed hedges. But at the very end of the cul-de-sac stood a house everyone avoided: a tall, decaying Victorian with boarded windows and vines strangling the walls. Kids called it the Hollow House. Parents warned their children never to go near it. But no one really knew why. There were only rumors. Strange lights flickering inside at night, shadows moving behind the curtains, and screams carried on the wind during thunderstorms. One October evening, 21-year-old Jessica, a journalism student, decided the house would be her perfect subject for a Halloween article. She believed most ghost stories were just exaggerated legends. Armed with her camera, a flashlight, and her phone recorder, she set out to uncover the truth. The gate creaked when she pushed it open. The yard smelled of rotting leaves and damp earth. Every step toward the porch felt heavier, as though the air itself grew thicker. When Jessica touched the front doorknob, it was ice cold. The door swung open on its own. She whispered into her recorder, "Entryway October 13th, 10:04 p.m. The door is unlocked." No sign of forced entry. Inside, the house was suffocatingly dark. Her flashlight beam revealed peeling wallpaper, broken furniture, and cobwebs thick as curtains. Dust floated in the air. Yet there were footprints on the floor, fresh ones, leading upstairs. Jessica's heart hammered. Still, curiosity pushed her to follow. The staircase groaned as she climbed. Halfway up, she felt it. Something breathing down her neck. She whipped around. No one. Only shadows shifting against the walls. On the second floor, she found a child's bedroom. Toys lay scattered, but they weren't covered in dust like the rest of the house. A rocking horse creaked back and forth, though no one touched it. On the wall, written in something dark and smeared, were words. "Mummy, make them stop!" Jessica gasped. She snapped a photo, but the image on her camera screen was wrong. Instead of an empty room, she saw a small boy standing in the corner, his face blurred, eyes wide and black like endless pits. The boy whispered, not aloud, but directly inside her head, "Don't stay!" Her flashlight flickered, then went out completely. In the dark, tiny footsteps ran across the floorboards. She fumbled with her phone, turning on the screen light. The boy was gone, but the toys were now neatly arranged in a circle, pointing toward the closet door. Something knocked from inside the closet. Once. Twice. Then violently, shaking the door on its hinges. Jessica staggered back. "Hello!" Her voice trembled. The door burst open. Nothing was inside. Just darkness deeper than any shadow. But her recorder picked up something: multiple voices whispering all at once, chanting in a language she couldn't recognize. Suddenly, a woman's scream ripped through the room. Jessica covered her ears, but it felt like the sound came from inside her skull. She bolted out, stumbling down the hallway. The walls seemed closer now, as if the house itself were bending inward. Portraits on the walls changed as she passed them, smiling faces melting into hollow-eyed corpses. Jessica tripped and fell near a doorway. Crawling inside, she found herself in what looked like a nursery. A crib stood in the center. Above it, a mobile of little paper stars turned slowly. Though there was no wind, she approached, her hand shaking as she peered inside. The crib was empty except for a bundle of human teeth tied together with red string. Her stomach lurched. She stumbled back, knocking over a dresser. A drawer slid open, revealing a stack of old photographs. Every single one showed different families posing happily in front of the house. But as she flipped through them, her blood ran cold. The final photo showed her standing at the gate, holding her camera, smiling. Her phone buzzed. She lifted it with trembling hands. The screen lit up with a new message. "Welcome home." The air grew colder. Behind her, the crib creaked. She turned slowly. A figure now stood over it, a tall woman in a tattered black dress, her face pale and sunken, eyes glowing like embers. She whispered in a voice that shook the walls. "You've finally come back to me!" Jessica screamed and ran. The hallways stretched impossibly long, doors slamming shut behind her. She raced downstairs, but the front door was gone, replaced by another hallway. The house shifted around her, a maze with no exit.
The whispers grew louder, now calling her name. Jessica.
Jessica! She sprinted blindly until she reached the basement door. Against her better judgment, she threw it open and descended. The air smelled of mildew and rot. Her light revealed shelves lined with jars inside them. Floating in cloudy liquid were human eyes. Her knees buckled. She turned to run back up, but the stairway was gone. Only a solid wall remained.
Then she heard it. The sound of the rocking horse upstairs.
Slow, deliberate, and something dragging across the floor. From the shadows of the basement, figures began to emerge. Dozens of them, pale and twisted, their mouths sewn shut with black thread, their hollow eyes fixed on her.
Jessica screamed and backed against the wall.
She pressed her recorder to her lips, whispering, "If anyone finds this, don't come here. Don't come to Ravenwood Lane. It's alive. The house is alive." The last thing her recorder captured was a blood-curdling scream that cut off suddenly. The next morning, her car was found parked neatly outside the house, camera on the seat, flashlight on the floor. But Jessica was gone. Neighbors say at night now, if you stand on Ravenwood Lane, you can hear a woman's voice calling faintly from the windows, "Please, let me out." And sometimes, you'll see her standing in the upstairs window, holding a camera, waiting for the next curious soul.